Bonjour mesdames et messieurs, in this episode we're going to shoot some nice waterfall in Switzerland. Bonjour mesdames et messieurs, my name is Serge Ramedy. I am a French photographer living in Paris and Los Angeles. But right now I am in Switzerland. I am exactly in Lauterbrunnen, close to Interlaken, which means between the lakes. I'm in a place which is amazing. It's a valley where there is over 70 waterfalls. It's a beautiful little village, and I'm going to try to do some long exposure. It's a very cloudy day, but I want to show you how I compose the different photos and how I'm going to retouch them. I'm going to share all my secrets in this live shoot in Switzerland. If you want to get the raw file for this episode, all you have to do is sign up on my website, put in your email address, and then you can get access to the raw files once you're logged in under the description of this video. Also, don't forget to sign up on my YouTube channel to follow more videos. But for now, follow me in Switzerland and let's do some really cool waterfall shoots. Mesdames et messieurs, venez avec moi, come with me. Alright, so just before we get started, I would just want to talk to you about my Photo Search Complete Pack. What it is everything that I've ever produced over the last 5 years, including hundreds of presets, over 124 hours of videos. It's all my courses, it's everything. Because you're watching this video, the normal price is $3,224. We usually set it around $340, sorry, but you will get a special price which is $299 if you enter the code that's below the video. All you have to do is enter this code at the checkout and you'll get it. Now, if you already bought something from me, and if you use this code, you will get an even better price because it's going to take into account what you already bought. So check it out. Get my Photo Search Complete Pack so you have everything as as a reference. You can download everything, or you can keep it on the cloud and stream it. You got both choices. It's there for you forever. All right, now to the tutorial. Alright guys, so this is one of the final images we're going to go for. I call this the bad weather theories. And I was in this amazing valley in Switzerland where there was all this waterfall and this beautiful river. And I was kind of frustrated because I didn't have a good weather. And that happens to me all the time where I'm traveling, spend a lot of money to come to a place and then the weather is really bad. So I kind of, seeing the success of some photos on Instagram, I kind of worked out a way to sort of, make them extraordinary using Lightroom retouching and Lightroom presets. So that's one of the results we're going to be getting. But first, let's look at the photo we got from that little trip. I actually got a lot more than that. That's just a little extract for that special free episode. So, starting, when I arrived there in Lauterbrunnen, I forgot the name, the Valley of the 72 Waterfall. I came to this place and I wanted to get a shot of the church, at least the church top here, and the waterfall, the first waterfall that's here. And that's the main one of the village. Now, I didn't like that composition because, there was this there and there was this there. I was very confused. So I got down closer to the water, as you saw in the video, and I got this one. I kind of like this. Now it's kind of like missing a bit of a foreground. It's like a lot of river. Anyways, I took the same one, so I put on an ND filter. This was what, 13 second, 6.3 ISO 125, should have been ISO 100. That's my mistake. And 13 second is a lot of exposure. Actually, later on, I put an ND variable filter because it was just too much of exposure. But I did this one 2.5 seconds, 6.3 ISO 25. So that still was an ND 1000, a much shorter exposure. It is underexposed, but I'm I'm going to give it a 1. I'm going to give it a 1. I gave it a 1 because this is what I do when I go through my photos. If I think a photo has some kind of potential, I give it a 1. That's it. Okay, next I have this composition. I kind of like that, but I also have this one, which is a little more straight, so I'm going to give it a 1, which I already did. Then I went the other side of the river, and there was this yellow train coming in, but I really don't like that the river is too much on the right side. And I don't like, you know, I don't like this house here as a train. Tried a few shots there, but I was not happy with what I got. So I'm not going to select any of these photos at all. Then we went to the other waterfall, and there was a horse there, so we played around. I took many more photos of the horse. But this one I'm going to give it a 1 because I kind of like it. This one also I might give it a 1. And this one I thought was really funny. I'm going to give it a 1. Then we came to another bridge, the second bridge as you saw in the video. And this is, now I kind of like this one. So this one is what? 10 seconds of exposure. Then I took this one, which was a lot shorter, 4 seconds. I'm going to give it a 1 to this one because I really like that. The reason why I'm shooting the 4 second over the 10 second is because I want to make sure that my sky is not blown out. And I know that when I'm going to open up the shadows on this one, I'm going to get back a lot of details. When I move the whites, I'm going to get a lot of contrast. So I know that. So, but I'm still getting, with the low highlights, I'm still getting all that details here, which I wouldn't get necessarily in the 10 second exposure. Well, actually I do in this case. But that's, so you know what, why not take this one also? Let's take this one. Okay, then let's carry on. A very similar one, but this one's got too much stuff going on. I'm going to press I to take this off. The road is kind of disturbing for me. You know, a lot of power lines there. So then I try to get more into the river. Why not? But at the end, I don't like it that much. So this one, yeah, not so much. Then this one, I kind of like this one, so I'm going to give it a 1. This is what, 13 seconds of exposure. It's a lot, but why not? Then this one, I kind of like this one too. I'm going to select it, so I gave it a 1. This one, why not? I'm going to take it 1. I'm going to give it a 1. And this one is too similar to the one I had before. This one, oh, this one I kind of like, so I gave it a 1. And then I started using a different setup. I started using an ND variable filter, so I had much shorter exposure. This is 1 second. But you see, 1 second is already enough. This was even blown away. So what I did is I went to ISO 50. You see, this is 1 second f9. Oh, actually no, sorry. Because it's a variable filter, so we have the same settings here, but I closed down a little bit my filter. And if you want to see what filter I'm using, you can check out my PhotoSearch gear page on photosearch.com. So this one is still 1 second f9 ISO 50, but I feel it's got good, you know, good details everywhere. But I'm not going to select it because there was some family members that I had there. So I'm going to move forward. Same thing, this one, I don't like it so much. This one, no, I don't like the rocks here. I don't like this poles there. Now this is the ones I really like. So this, I started doing, actually I added a variable filter, a polarizer on top of my variable filter, starting here. And so it gave like a really warm color cast to it. This one I don't like so much, but this one I really kind of enjoyed. I'm going to give it a 1. This is the one that we're going to be retouching. That's the final result, and that's how it looks before. So it was a mixed up of variable filter and polarizer filter. So 1 second f8 ISO 100. I'm going to select. I'm actually going to give it a 2 because I know this is the one we're going to work on. And then later on, I just want to show this to you. I came to this little chalet, a little wood house, and there was like 2 waterfalls behind. So I was trying to get a good framing at it. So I moved around it. So first I went on the left side. I kind of didn't like that so much. This, I don't like it either so much. You know, I went the whole way on the left side. This is kind of confusing to me. And then I went on the right side. Now on the right side, I like it more. This I already like. We see 1 waterfall. There's some stuff going on here. And then I moved back a bit, and this I really like because there was really some crazy clouds there. So this one I'm going to give it a 1. Actually, I liked it so much that I did some HDR on it in case I was missing some details in the sky. And then same thing here. I really like that side, so I went a little closer. Still HDR. I went a little wider, and I think this one I'm going to give it a 1. Okay, now I gave a 1 star to the one I think that have potential. So now I'm going to go here. I'm going to click here on this one. So now we only have the ones which I think have a potential. And I'm going to jump directly to the star photo, which is this one. Because I'm going to use this one as a base to create a series of presets, actually 10 presets that I call the bad weather preset that I'm going to give you. The purpose of this preset is to give some kind of color cast, some kind of look to a photo on a very washed out bad weather day. It's not very natural. It's very popular on Instagram. It's just for the fun. So how do I do this? Well, I'm going to start off with my regular workflow where I'm going to, open up my shadows. Maybe not the whole way. Oh, actually, this one, like plus 100, minus 100. I'm going to do a black point. I'm going to do a white point. And I'm going to do a minus clarity, which is usually what I start off with. Okay, but then I want to give it a look. So I'm going to go for daylight, because it was a daylight photo, and I'm going to give it a little bit more blue. A little bit more blue to give it like a blue color cast. I think it goes well with the water, and maybe a little magenta or green, just a little bit. So that's my starting point, but it's not finished. To really give a look to this photo, I'm going to go to the here to the split toning. Now I've already done this here on this photo, and I don't remember the values that I did. And that's one little trick. When you do a photo and you like what you did, you can save what you did as a preset, which I'm going to show you later on, but you can also just go back to it and look at the settings. See, I did 4365 minus 4232 73. So 43 is the highlights color, and well, let's try to do something similar. What I basically did is I clicked on the highlights, and on the highlights I went on something that was quite warm, something like this. Okay, and then I went on the shadows. And because it was almost a blue hour, but there was no blue in the sky, I'm going to exaggerate it. I'm going to go here in the blue. So it's kind of also the Hollywood look, warm in the highlights, blue in the shadows. So a little bit of blue like this, and then you mixed it up. You can add more saturation in your blues if you want. You can take out saturation. Same thing here. You can add saturation in your highlights. Don't do it too much. And balance. If you go to the left, it's going to do more the shadows, and to the right do more the warmth. So on this one I think I went a bit like this. Okay, so that gave me my basic bad weather look that I kind of like. It looks like a blue hour with some kind of sun there, but I want to put more emphasis onto this. So I'm going to take a radio filter. I'm going to click here, and I'm actually going to invert the mask, feather it, and I'm going to add some light here, and add some yellow, and add some magenta, just like if the sun was there. The sun was actually there, but I'm just adding more light to it. Okay, and now I'm maybe going to lower a little bit the shadows, lower a little bit the exposure, the overall exposure, something like this. Or you actually, you know what? No, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do something different. And I want to show you this trick. I'm going to take a graded filter. I'm going to do a graded filter here on top. And all I'm doing is choosing exposure. So everything is at 0 but exposure. I'm going to minus it out. But you see, I don't like what it does here on the mountains, because I just want the sky to be dark, not the mountains. So I can click here on brush. You see here? It says brush. You click on brush, and now you have a brush that has a plus sign on it. With your mouse, you can make it bigger or smaller. Now, all you have to do is press the Alt key on your keyboard, and now your brush becomes a minus. Then you can go, keep your finger on it. You see, because if you take it off, it changes the settings. And here, I'm going to put the flow around 70, 80, and the auto mask on. And with this, I'm just going to brush here. And what it's going to do, it's going to erase the graded filter on the mountains. So now, check it out. Before the graded filter, after. You see, it made mostly the sky darker and not so much the mountains. I'm happy with that, so I'm going to go back on the graded filter. I'm going to make another one here. And this one, I just want to make it darker. Voila. And then I'm just going to add some contrast. And that's pretty much the look I was looking for. if you want to see the before photo, I can show this to you. Going into the history here, in the develop, sorry, going to the history here, and because I created, so this is when that's where I started, and this is where we are now. You know, pretty cool things. So, you know, after a while you can look at it and you can say, oh, maybe it's a little too blue, this may be a little bit of too much, you know, if you're not like me, you're not crazy about colors, you think it looks too natural. I'm going to press F to go back, Shift Tab. What you can do is you can just go back here in your dual tones, and you can lower the saturation of the blue and lower the saturation, you know, of the highlights. You can, you know, you can click here on the radial filter. You do it to your taste, basically. You really do it to your taste. You can lower the yellows here, you know, if you don't want it to make it too crazy. Now we have a more dramatic, desaturated look, you know. But anyway, once you got a look, and this is something I really advise you to do, what you can do is you can just click here on bad weather. You click here on preset, you click on plus, and you're going to save all this as a preset. Now I created a folder called bad weather, and I created like 10 presets. So once you have saved this as a preset, we can play around with the other photo much faster. Let me show you what I mean. Let's take, for example, the first photo that I selected. And now, and I'm going to give this for you. I'm not going to show you, but the way I created the preset was very similar to what I just showed you. So now, you see, I got all these presets. Bad weather basic, bad weather 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. So you just look at it and you look what's happening in this window. You look for something that you like, you know. And all the purpose of this bad weather, I like this one on this one, is supposed to give it a basic look. Now, it's just a basic look. I already like it right off the bat here. I already like it, but you know, I think maybe the sky is a little too crazy, so I can click on a graded filter, which is here. I can erase this one. This is another graded filter. I can make it less like this, or I can get it more, but then I can just click on brush like we did before, hold on the Alt key and erase what I did here, especially on the waterfall. You know, I don't want the graded filter, I just want it, you know, on the sky. You know, same thing, I can make this go away like this. You know, a preset is only a starting point, you know. So let's take this photo, for example. Same thing here. So we go into the bad weather presets. Let's see which one could be nice on this one. You know, you just go through, it just depends on your taste. Oh, I'm going to take this one, bad weather basic. Bad weather basic, I think it's way too saturated, so I can back down, add some warms. You know, I can go back. I know that I've got the split toning thing going on, so I can go back there and just lower the saturation of the split toning. You know, but in a few seconds I gave it a look. You know, I gave it a look. Let's take this one, for example. You know, and let's use the bad weather again. Let's see what look can we give it. Let's go for a more green look. Some of my bad weather don't have this sort of very blue, but more this green look. Boom. One click and I already love it, you know. One click and I already love it. That's the before, that's the after. Backslash key. And so this one, for example, has a graded filter. It's on the wrong side, so you can, you know, flip it to the right side, because we only want this, you know. You can back it down. For example, this is good. This works well. Maybe add another graded filter here. You know, not so strong. Again, a preset is only a starting point. Preset is going to take you to places you didn't expect. This is way too strong, you know, but I think it's kind of cool, you know, backslash key to see the before and after. Okay, same thing, this one. Let's go to the bad weather preset. Let's go to this one, you know, just take the first one, boom. You know, I like the look that it gives, you know, backslash key before, oops, sorry. That was not the backslash key before and after. You know, just give it a little blue look if you think the blue is too much. Same thing, you can desaturate even more the photo, give it like a desaturated look, but it's still got some blues, it's almost black and white. Same thing here, I could go here and do a little gradient in the sky. Okay. You know, and use the brush here. Click on brush. Click on Alt and erase what it's doing here on the mountains, because I only want the sky to be dark. Now there is a pull here that really bothers me, so I can take my crop tool, I can crop it out. I think there's a little too much sky, I want to be more on the bridge, and boom, I got an interesting photos. And all these photos you will see, this kind of looks will do well on Instagram. Some people find it's too cheesy, it's too unnatural. I like to play around. I think, I think the tools we have today, Lightroom and Photoshop, the sky is the limit. You create whatever you want. When you want to go very natural, you don't want to go natural. When I try to do my landscape photography, when I've sold 2 photos to National Geographics, of course I don't do these things. When I sold to galleries, I go for a more natural look. But I thought this was a cool exercise to, you can just take back some of your old photos and run them through my bad weather, preset and see how they, how they look like. Okay, that's another idea. But you get the idea. So, oh yeah, let's do the one. Let's do this one because this one's my favorite too. I think I'm going to take this one because this one's got more of the bad stuff. So let's see here. Bad weather 8. What is it going to give me? So sometimes it's lagging. You see, oh, bad weather 8 is right on. I like that. So now, of course, you got to adjust everything. So take your graded filter. I'm going to make this one a little higher up. This one a little higher up. I'm going to use the brush with the Alt key to brush a little bit off the mountains. Okay, then I'm going to take this one. I'm going to go back on this tool here. Take this one, maybe make it a little less here. Okay, then look at my radial circle that's here. Maybe move it a bit higher up, a little less bright because it was already very bright. Maybe a little yellow. I can go back here. I can go, in the split toning here, and maybe go more toward a green. Green is going to make it a little weird. Maybe a little tilt. A very classic Hollywood look. A little bit of tilt, a little lower. Okay, and boom. Before, after, I gave it a look. I gave it a grading basically. Okay, so, but I guess my favorite one is this one from that trip. So now, how do you install presets? Well, if you sign up on my website, you go to my website, photosearch.com, okay, and you click on login. You have to create an account first if you did not. Then you log in. You put in your email address and you log in. Once you're logged in, you will see that now you have this little menu here that shows you that you're logged in. This is where you can download all your courses. Then you go back to YouTube. You go back to YouTube where you found this video. There is a link below this video. And now, because you're logged into my website, that link will work and will give you this photo and all the presets that go with it. Now, all you have to do is unzip the file that I'm giving you. Double click on it to unzip it. And then you go into your Lightroom and you go to your preference menu. You go to presets, which is here. You go show Lightroom preset folder. Okay. And very important, and same thing on Windows. So that's the Lightroom, and that's all the preset folder. You go to the develop preset. Don't go to anywhere else. And you drag and drop the bad weather folder. You see the bad weather folder is here, and you got all the 10 presets. You just drag and drop the folder that you got from the YouTube video there. You restart your Lightroom, and you're good to go. And now you got the bad weather preset, and you can go out and take photos when the weather is really bad. Okay guys, just a reminder, I hope you're going to check the Photo Search Complete Pack where you can get this. You can get everything I ever made for the last 10 years for $299. All my preset, all my courses, everything. And even cheaper if you already bought something from my website. All you have to do is go to my website, log in, and you will see the discount. But use the code YouTube Complete to get that specific price.